are you guys doing up there? Get down here on my level. That's a little better. How we doing? Not that I've been thinking about this one for a minute. It'd help if I knew how to use my own tripod. What's up, folks? So, no, I'm not smoking today. It's just cold. I've actually been hiding inside for the last couple days due to the cold front that came through here. Finally out here and able to make some stuff, so let's get to making. Today, we're gonna start with, I believe I decided on a phone stand. I will warn you, I did cut the wood the other day. I gotta do 2 quick cuts on it before I bring it over here, just to square the ends up a little bit because I'm too lazy to unbury my jointer. I literally just walked out here and fired up the heater, so the next scene is hopefully not going to have me, you know, all over the camera. Sorry, I kid. But yeah, so I'm going to go over some basic how to resaw wood if you have a bandsaw. If this is something you want to make but don't have very much equipment, you can always do it with this one, especially with hand tools. Only thing that might make your life a little easier is a drill, but if you don't have that, there's always workarounds. And yeah, should be pretty quick and easy, but you know me, I'll find a way to complicate it. So let's get into it. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, so did you guys know that you can support me for not spending a cent by hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing my videos? Doesn't cost you a cent. Helps the algorithm see me a whole lot more, and it's totally free for you. It just takes 3 clicks. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thanks. Bye. Okay, we're back. So I said forget the bandsaw. I just use a table saw. We got these. These are 1/2 inch thick instead of 3/8. It's a little thicker, but I don't really care. It's also cherry, not ambrosia maple like I was going to originally use. Again, don't care. So these are 4 inches wide. Shoot, I forgot to check that. My other one was 4 inches wide. I don't know how wide these are. I'm not cutting them down. So let me grab my tape measure real quick. By the way, I'm on this side of the camera, and I'm literally leaning on my lathe just to give you guys an idea where we're at in the shop today. So I got 4 5/16. So instead of that, I'm just going to go with 4 3/8 because it does make it a little bit easier. So what we'll do is take 1/2 of 4 3/8, which is, I'm cheating and doing math. Oh yeah, I messed up. So 3/8 as a decimal is 375. We need 1/2 of that. So we need 2.1875, which I believe is 1/8 of an inch. And we're back on a different phone since my other one got overheated from the heat blowing on me. So we're going to start with, what was 1/2 of this? It was 2 3/16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this at 2 1/4 because I'd rather be a little over than under for this part. All right, my drill works. I can't find my chuck key for that drill, so I was going to use a smaller drill bit, but whatever. And since I took the rest of my drills in. So for this one, we're going to go right about there. And I'm going to put a mark right here, right at the very end. So that's where I'm going to drill my hole. We're going to do that right now. If I was doing this for production, I would only do one step at a time, but hey. When you do that, try to keep it as straight as possible too. I'm going to run this through the planer when I'm done. So it's going to go through right there. I want about that much of an angle on it. So we'll mark it there again. Now we're going to drill this one and then we're done drilling. Trying to keep this one short and sweet today. It doesn't help. This is not designed to be a wood bit. That's for use on like a lathe where everything's locked down and not freehand like I was doing. But for 2 holes, I ain't gonna sweat it because I gotta go find the chuck key for it. That ain't it. That's the chuck key for the only other chuck I have out here that requires a key. Now with that and this, what we are going to do is I need to find where my mark is, or figure out where I need to place my marks. This one actually should be good. This will be even easier. You want to just barely catch the lip of this. I'll back you guys up a little bit so it's easier for me. You want to catch the back end of that. And then that right there. Once it's in shade, you guys can see it a lot easier. And we're going to do the same on this one. Just pop that through. I need that as nice and dark so I can see it. So if you wanted to do one of these at home while I'm putting my pencil away, you can pre-cut, you can mark those out and use a handsaw and handsaw it. Or you can, a coping saw for this particular project would be great. They're very inexpensive. It would work perfectly fine. But yeah, so with this, I'm going to use a jigsaw. I could use my bandsaw, but that blade was making some unhealthy noises and I got to go through and figure out what was causing it. So we're just going to go through this side. Sorry, I had somebody break in the shop the other day and they were working on pen blanks for me. Now when you do this, you do want to make sure you get it wide enough. That's the other thing I forgot to take into account, how wide the actual wood was. So we're just gonna so if you want to do this yourself, get the thickness of your wood, and that's the size drill bit you want. That's the one thing I did forget. When I said, oh, 12 millimeter will be fine, I don't really feel like resawing this to we're close, but I got a little hump in here, so we're just going to take that out. When you do this, you want it to fit all the way together pretty smooth without having to fight it. Can't wait till it warms up and I can actually spend time out here without heating it. Just like that. If it is a little stiff, it's not the end of the world, but you definitely want it to be fairly smooth. These are going to get sanded down, which is why I want it a little tighter. That should work for this one. Now for your final check to make sure everything goes together good, you just pop it together like so. It could be a lot shorter. I mean, this is an iPhone 15, just to give you an idea how big it is. I want it to be big enough to be able to support a tablet too. So, you know, I mean, for me, I'm completely fine with that. Got a little excess, but I ain't gonna sweat over that too much. The only other thing that I like to have on something like this is a way to get a charger on it, which is where I misspoke. We do have one more hole to drill. Ouch. So it'd have to be right on top of there, and I don't want to do that. So, and if I cut through that, so yeah, I gotta bite the bullet. Really don't want to do it this way, but it shouldn't affect it too much. So what I'm gonna do is come off of here about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, somewhere around in there. And we're just gonna put the hole right there so the phone will be angled back a little bit. And try not to do that. Well, that's great. Well, I gotta go redo that whole one now. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so I got mad. I cut down a whole new piece of ambrosia maple. Started off with drilling 2 holes instead of the 1. Cut that out. And there's what we got. From this point, all this needs is sanded, a light round over the edges, and she's ready to rock and roll. I showed you guys how to do everything. Just, you know, drill your holes before you do any cutting so you don't risk breaking anything. Don't rush it the way I did this one, where, I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but this one's for me, so I'm a little more loose with anything I'm doing for myself, mainly because I just need something to work. And yeah, so I'm gonna run this through a sander, get her knocked out the rest of the way off camera. But that's the quick and easy on an easy how to make phone stand. The thing I like about doing them this way, and yes, I used some ambrosia maple, But the thing I like about doing them this way, they come apart. Say you're ready for it again. It don't matter, back end's always to the rear. That way you can get your charging cable up through it. Let me grab my... That way you can plug it in, stick your cord down. Yes, I'm watching, or got YouTube up on my back. And my Bluetooth, there's a picture of my dog. But then if you got your tablet, you can always throw it on there. Some other useful uses, if you got a cookbook that'll stay open, you might need 2 of them, one for either side. I'm gonna make some wider versions for cookbooks though. But if you're using your tablet or iPad, or actually I got a tablet sitting over here. I forgot I've got an old Droid tablet I use out here for like Audible or podcasts or whatever. But you know, you can pop it on there. If you don't have the case that'll let you, like if I'm streaming YouTube or something out here, I can do that too. That way, I don't think that'll turn on. Yeah, it's been out here for way too long. I'm going to throw a charger on it while I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so they got lots of uses. I mean, if you got that fancy pen you really want to show off, you could always really catch some people's eyes and even use them as a pen holder. I just happen to have this one in my pocket, so I had to show it off. I love these blanks. If you guys want anything made with these, just so you know, I am working on a few, but I've got a few more laying around. I count 5. I got 7 left. That's one I will be restocking soon too, so that way because those are very popular. But with that, I'm gonna call it here. So this one was definitely rushed, but it works, so I ain't gonna complain because that's gonna be my shop one. I'm gonna take a little more time with this one later, so I've got a nice one for in my house. And yeah, so with that, I will cat in the hat and dappy dat. We'll see y'all next week. And don't forget to throw any potential ideas you've got, because I'm running low. Yeah, really low. Like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. I still got to get through my other list of stuff I'm working on, but otherwise this might get repetitive because you should see the bends I've got to do.